got to get rid of. We need that rule out of there. There shouldn't be 2 group of 5s in there. And then I guess I'll ask you as we round it out, because of all that, if we agree there at least shouldn't be 2, you're going to put 1 in. I wouldn't even put any in this year. And this is maybe a conversation for another day, but I want to throw it out there now. Is the fix that we need a group of 5 playoff and a power 4 playoff, and you can be a national champ at the group of 5 level, but don't mess with what we're putting together because you're playing an easier schedule? You want to play an easier schedule? Go ahead, be a champ. Put it on the press box, but you're not playing in the same CFP where there's billions of dollars and your schedule's easier.
No, that doesn't solve anything either. Then you've like.
It would have solved this CFP. They both would have been out, and then you would have Notre Dame and
a group of 5 playoff doesn't. Then what? Yeah, I'm the group of 5 champion. No, they're all in the football.
It would be it'd be similar to the FCS. You still could claim national championship.
Then they need to be in the football championship subdivision and not the football bowl subdivision. And there's
the issue with that, though, is then the FCS teams that are currently there would never win.
We can't conduct a championship among teams in the football bowl subdivision.
No, well, you change the wording then. You have the football bowl subdivision, which is just the Power 4, and then you make a different wording to have a 3-letter acronym for the.
So we just demote all of the teams that aren't. We demote all the teams to which is a
no. I am literally saying you demote the group of 5 teams to a different level of you have 3. No, instead of having 2 levels of the sport with FCS and FBS, you have 3. You have FCS, whatever you want to call that, and then FBS, and then you can have 3 champions in a given year, and you can put it on the damn press box. But like when Marshall won national title way back in the 90s, that was not a FBS title, so it's not even part of an argument.
You're skirting around something that's bandied about among certain folks, and that is
I'm not alone in this opinion here, and there are people that actually in the national media that have brought this up. It's not
what you're saying, but more of a actual promotion relegation type of system, a la European football.
Sure, no, I've said that in other sports too. I don't care. You want to call it relegation? I'm not scared of the word relegation. Here's why I would relegate. If you're not playing a hard schedule,
if you create a whole new class. This isn't me criticizing it, but if you have the FCS, and within FCS, there's.
I'm not saying it'd be easy, by the way.
2, 3, but so you've got FCS down here.
Yeah.
And you essentially want to create a middle ground of.
Yeah. Financially, that makes sense. They're spending the financial middle ground
here. That is it's a championship level subdivision, and then the Power 4 conferences, maybe the Pac-12 if they get back there.
Whatever you want to do. Yep.
Becomes a Premier League type of deal.
100%. Yep.
And if you play yourself in, the conferences would have to be willing enough to be like, hey, if X team is good, then, but none of the teams that are currently there, say like Oklahoma State, who had a bad year, or, other teams would not want.
Well, you wouldn't. Well, what I want to make clear too is the starting point would be the current group of 5 conferences would start in the middle purgatory situation. Mm-hmm. You could, like you're mentioning with Premier League, you could get relegated. You could also get ascended. But I'm not going to relegate or I'm not going to decline and kill a program for 1 bad year, for 2 bad years. I would be reasonable and make this an incredible thing to get demoted. I'm not going to Oklahoma State having a couple bad years or West Virginia not ranked for 6 years. These are historic programs that are, top 15, top 20 is winningest ever. I'm not going to all of a sudden say they need put down. If West Virginia is not ranked for 20 years in a row, I'm willing to talk about it. Especially when you bring in Rich Rod.
Relegation, but like a stronger, a higher threshold, basically.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're going to put 49 recruits on the board and you're going to spend $10 million in NIL and you're going to be the number 1 ranked team on every national service in Big 12 recruiting, and you're going to have Rich Rod going out there and saying you got to be in the Big 12 title game or you're not having a successful year, and you do that 5 straight years in his contract off of the Neil Brown tenure, let's get in a meeting because you failed. Yeah, let's talk about whether you want to get relegated or you want to spend some money to get freaking better. You got pressure to get better now. Yeah, but I mean, we can even go longer than that. I'm not trying to necessarily screw them up. I'm just trying to make the championship path fair, because there's no denying that as bad as some of even the programs we're covering right now and how down as they are, their schedules are still harder than what JMU put together. As much as I dog Maryland out of conference play, the damn conference schedule is harder than JMU's whole damn schedule. It's not a fair situation. That's what I'm saying. And here's the reason why this probably won't happen. Those group of 5 conferences don't want it because they know they got an easier path than West Virginia and Maryland in those schools, and they like it. Why screw it up? If we can play one Power 4 all damn year and then ride through this thing on an easy schedule, why not let's bounce in? Or you know what they would probably freaking do, which is the UCF doctrine of ridiculousness. If they're left out as team 13 or 14 and we take the rule out of there, they're going to go ahead and win the bowl game and claim a national title, as insane as that sounds. They would rather do that, because if they get into their own purgatory thing, it's going to be, yeah, one of them will win every year, but they're never going to be in there with the big boys. So to me, I'd support it. I don't care. You can call it relegation. You can call it copying Premier League. You can do it in other sports. Yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirates want to have 30 years in a row where they're in albatross. Yeah, spend some money or get relegated. Let's go. I mean, I'm not scared of the term. That's what I would do. I mean, we can do a whole show on it. We don't have to waste time here, but I want to make it clear. I think that this year, if we're ever going to have that conversation, they might have made a mistake getting 2 in this year, because you put those people in that meeting that are going to see the ratings and are going to hear this, and not just me, people who are legit that are saying it. And I'm not saying I don't believe they're going to do that next year, even though I do think we're going to take the rule out of there. They're not going to have to take the immediate chance.
The rule is going to specify 1 G5 and guarantee a spot for the ACC.
Right. So fine. But what I'm saying is that if there's any pushback on even that rule, or we get it somehow into this mess where we got the 1 G5, like for example, George, if next year we get rid of that rule and then we got 1 G5 that has Tulane or JMU's resume with 2 losses, and you're leaving out Texas for playing Ohio State, and it happens again and again and again, you're going to get in the meeting and they're going to say relegated to your little thing. That's going to, I mean, they're pushing this too much, and we'll see what they do in the playoff, but they're not playing a schedule. Here, if you want to play with the big boys, George, play with the big boys. Schedule some games.
Yeah.
Schedule some games. I mean, this does not take me being a jerk or analyzing this or covering the sport. Anyone's grandma can look at that schedule and tell me it's not as hard. I mean, I